Good morning. Welcome to SJU. Hello. It's a big day in entertainment today. You want to know why? Because Spencer Gilbert is here joining us.
It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been so long since we've been on a video thing together.
Minutes.
It's like
Well, I was just live on this very channel.
Get out of here. Then you're not exciting. But Joe Starr is here. Joe Starr is here. It's been a long time. It's been at least since 10 minutes ago. Ed Greer's been since Monday. I'm here too. You guys are amazing. We're going to talk about the Avengers. What?
Why wouldn't we?
Why wouldn't we talk about the Avengers show?
There's no Batman news
That's
today.
That's just rude. So we're going to talk about that. We have a few other things to talk about today, but it's mostly the Avengers. And we'll get into that right now. They are re-releasing Endgame in theaters now with post-credits. So much to discuss here. This is during an interview with Screen Rant with Kevin Feige for Far From Home, which is opening very soon. They are going to re-release Avengers Endgame on June 28th with some new material after the closing credits. This is what Feige had to say. He said, it's not an extended cut, but there will be a version going into theaters with a bit of marketing push for a few new things at the end of the movie. If you stay and watch the movie after the credits, there will be a deleted scene, a little tribute, and a few surprises.
You texting, Joe?
Oh, I'm pulling up Dan's thoughts because I'm in the Dan chair.
Oh, okay.
Is he on Twitter talking about it?
Yeah.
Hi, Dan.
I'm in
Are
his
you
chair.
watching us?
No, I watch Dan at all times.
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. We'll pull up Dan thoughts. Yeah, he's got better things to do than watch
Hopefully.
us. Yeah. But anyway, hi, Dan, if you are watching us. And hi, you. And you and you and you. Let's talk about this. First of all, obviously they re-released Deadpool last year, but they had made some structural changes, slight structural changes.
Right. The Christmas Story, or not Christmas Story, the
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride version of Deadpool.
Yes.
The PG-13 cut. Is
Yeah.
that what they're doing? Because it sounds like they just did
No.
a new end credit scene and charged you $15.
That
to
is
see
correct.
It.
It's
Okay, cool.
basically a re-release in theaters with features that would have once upon a time been like on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So
And it's black and white.
yes, and they've turned it to black and white, and they've actually reshot it shot for shot, but with the cast Psycho.
Okay.
Yeah.
The remake.
Yeah, the remake.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, so it's just Vince Vaughn
This is
playing
the
every
Vaughn
character.
cut. Everyone is.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn plays everyone in this version of Endgame.
Star-Lord, your money.
I don't want us to immediately get cynical about this, but
Why
Spencer,
not?
what do you think?
Yeah, this is a very
Immediate.
this seems like at first blush a very cynical move to charge people again a full movie ticket price to see a new end credit scene. No, that seems very cynical. That seems like a very cynical move to become the highest grossing movie of all time because they're so close to Avatar, but so far. But if they put it out in theaters for another month, like they can just con just enough people into seeing that first instead of just watch the end credit scene on YouTube or get the Blu-ray even if you want to throw $19 at Marvel. Like, don't do this. No.
I don't know. I mean, well, so this opens right before Far From Home, so it's unlikely that the end credit scene will have anything to do with that because why bother, right? So you have to assume they're shooting Black Widow now, though nothing really has officially been announced around it. So
Yeah.
I would assume that would be the thing that it's pointing to. But or could be an X-Men thing. We could speculate. No.
They cast everyone real fast.
Well, guys, technically it sounds like a re-expansion more than a reopening. Since the movie never officially closed, Dan guesses it wouldn't be the traditional definition of a re-release. It's a marketing move is what it is. Honestly, he thinks it might have made more later in the year, but, Marvel's gonna Marvel. Avatar's re-release is counted toward its current worldwide total, so it's fair play for Endgame to do the same. He's surprised it's happening this quickly, but like Thanos, this was inevitable.
Dang, look at that chart
well
about Dan's
said,
mini
Charter.
episode. Yeah.
That's why Dan's the charter.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Disney now owns
This is not
Fox,
uncharted territory.
right? So they win either way. Basically, when the next Avatar comes out, they could push Avengers Endgame to beat Avatar's record, and then when Avatar 2 comes out, re-release the first Avatar to get that for a push for it to beat Avengers because they win either way. They own both.
I'm just humming when Avatar 2 comes out, everyone's gonna rush to fill themselves in on the plot of Avatar 1. Like, I gotta find out what happened to that unobtainium, man.
It'll now have deleted scenes for another Marvel show.
And, yeah, Disney will find some dumb reason to get you to go see Avatar one more time. I do like that now the record breaking is just one company throwing two of its kids at one thing, and that feels weird.
Yeah. Well, I think there's no better way to parent than to encourage a little bit of competition.
There's some real Venus and Serena going on with Disney. The mouse is training his daughters, baby.
Comes this character.
Is this Navi and Serena?
Yeah, I mean, that's what's happening, and I think it's pretty cool, I guess. But like, I think this adversarial thing, of course, of things that are all in the same family. Pro wrestling's big again, so I guess fake fighting is in. Yeah. So boom, I don't really have any opinion on the jockeying for this record, because as inflation changes and as we change as entities, you know what I mean? Like we're not going to the movies as much. We're going to start evolving into these people who just like sort of blink and watch 5 movies and then come back and be like, hey.
You're proposing that we're becoming Wally?
Yeah.
That's
Well, Wally / Johnny Mnemonic / bunch of batteries.
Sure.
Yeah, more like the pod things in the Matrix. Like,
sure.
We're all gonna be hooked up to the Matterhorn.
You know what? We're gonna be happy in that horn.
Yeah.
That's a happy place to be, man.
Boy, eating some cyber steaks.
Send me back to the Matrix.
Yeah, so
I just
think
Avatar 3. The only way to watch it is to put yourself in
the
a Matrix pod.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of weird. It's like you almost think that due to the fact that people have so much more entertainment at home, they should count these modern blockbusting things as less. But then you think about how, like, ticket prices are more than they've ever been, and there is less incentive. You know what I mean? So you can see it a bunch of different ways as to whether these things are important, all these breaking records, or should we count these new broken records as much as like Jaws, which is one of the first super wide release movies.
But it's not like, and I'm sorry you asked us to try not to be cynical.
Oh no,
not today, Roth.
No, I have the wrong crew for non-cynicism.
But I also think that, I guess it's just reality. Like, they've now learned a lesson. Like, what are they going to do? Throw a non-IP movie into the summer? Like, instead of just reopening Endgame? That's ridiculous.
It's what's interesting is it's opening up against, I think it's Annabelle, the Annabelle sequel, and Yesterday, Danny Boyle's Yesterday, which looks very charming, frankly, and I love Danny Boyle, so I'm going to see Yesterday tomorrow.
I hope that becomes a cinematic universe of like certain
Yesterday
bands
universe?
not existing.
Yeah.
It's like the Beatles, and then they'll do like one with like The Cure, and then they'll keep getting diminishing returns.
First of all, how dare you? I don't want to live in a world.
Chumbawamba never existed in this
I wanted to get all the way down.
I get knocked down. I get up again. This guy's a piece of shit.
No, but think about the possibilities. You're a white garage band in Iowa, and you're the only ones who remember NWA songs. How do you do that?
That'd be amazing.
How are we gonna shoot that? How are they gonna repackage themselves?
I think you just picked the worst version of what's that movie that just came out where the guy pretends to be a black lady on the radio.
Oh, what's that?
What?
No, but Well, what was it called? I don't want to give it free pub.
No.
But
But you just picked the worst version.
But it's the struggle with the material. Okay, we gotta watch these white kids struggle with the material. So
first of all, just for the record, universe, I'm open to the Yesterday cinematic universe, but I don't want to live in a world where The Cure never existed. So just take that out of your mouth.
But what if you were the only one
face.
who knew The Cure? Like, would you?
I do not have the talent.
Yeah,
like,
that would be hell, right?
Story. It's like if I was the only one that remembered The Cure, that would be bad for the universe.
I feel like you could do a decent Robert Smith.
Yeah. I could do an Axl, and then the only reason I could do Axl Rose, and the only reason I could do Axl Rose is because I'll show you right now. You go Ethel Merman, and then you slide into Axl by accident. Yeah. Welcome to the jungle. We got funny games.
No. I don't know what that was.
Dead on Axl.
You know what? I'll go to the jungle with you, Rob. Thank you for taking us to the jungle.
That was dead on.
The scratchy. He's got like a raspy.
You in the jungle, baby?
So it's Ethel.
You're gonna die!
You know what he doesn't have anymore is mobility.
It's Ethel Merman.
The snake is
It's this now. He just goes.
Do we have anybody left watching it?
We saw Patterson and he just goes like this.
He's just honking a
basically-
horn on his mobility scooter.
It's Ethel Merman as an angelical cat in Heat,
Yeah.
and then you get to Axel. I'm pretty sure that's the formula.
But Robert Smith is not like a hard
Robert Smith.
voice to
Hold on, let's try.
Spider-Man comes.
First of all, good poll.
He's part of the MCU.
I'm going to stop us. It's my job to not let this happen.
No.
He is part of the MCU. Disintegration was an Ant-Man.
Okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
he is literally part of the MCU.
Nice.
Well, that's been the Cure talk, and now on to baby burns. That was a joke from earlier that you weren't here for, so it meant nothing to you. But I enjoyed it. So let's talk
I was about to be like, don't snitch tag me.
I thought what we said before we're live is sacred.
You just did. I don't think she outed you, right? You just did. So everybody knows.
did it.
That out of, but thank you. But thank you.
I made fun of a baby before I started.
Yeah.
Just in case any of you think I'm nice. I made
you
fun
keep
of a
telling
baby.
him yourself.
telling
No,
everybody.
I'll own it. I made fun of a baby.
I'm just glad they're not gonna put it on me. Like I knew it was Ed hating on babies, beverages, babies, tortured food metaphors. That's all this guy's good
No,
for.
it was me.
Yeah.
I made fun of a baby.
Are you gonna say
Yeah.
whose baby it was?
Nope.
No,
No, that's a bridge too far.
No. Instead, I'm going to talk about the X-Men in the MCU. God damn it. We're not going to talk about the baby. We will talk about that. Obviously, it's not going to be the X-Men. I'm
By the
trying
way-
to help Joe.
Dan's pitch for a re-release would have been a roadshow version of the last two Avengers film with an overture, intermission, combined credits, etc. Intermission comes after the snap. Shuffle some scenes around. 1 6-hour event combining Infinity War and Endgame into a 2-act epic.
Yeah, I think that would be fun, but you would need a little more time for that. Like, you would need the next Marvel movie to be coming out, I think, in order for people to commit to that kind of thing. That would
I'll
be
let him
really
know.
fun. Yeah, tell Dan. And then see what he says, and we'll read it live on the air. So let's talk about this. The Fantastic Four
Yes.
is probably Marvel's best bet with Fox. I don't think they're going to be announcing anything, but like the Phase 4 reveal, and Eric Goldman and I have talked about this, it really can just be like
logo.
the logo,
Yeah.
the 4. So that is a thing that they can do. Other than that, I don't know what this sequence is going to be, other than it's teasing things like Black Widow or the Eternals. But it's pretty amazing to think that enough people, and let's place bets on how many, are going to show up at, I know I'm going to have to send someone to see this, which is fine, but enough people are going to go to see a commercial.
Yes.
They're going to see a 3-hour movie to
I
see
mean,
a commercial.
granted,
Unless you just
get
want to
some
see
benefit
Endgame
out of
again.
seeing Endgame again in
I like
theaters.
Endgame, don't get me wrong.
I just feel like at this point, like you've probably seen it as many times as you want, haven't you?
I
think most
People
people
are
have.
busy.
I don't think we're gonna get any kind of preview.
No?
No, I think it'll be something cutesy, like maybe the new cast minus the old guys are at the same shawarma place, or
Really?
yeah, or one of the nothing scenes, like was it Iron Man 3 where he's telling Mark Ruffalo his story?
Right,
And,
yeah.
It'll be. I think it'll
not
be
that
something
kind of
like
doctor,
that.
really.
And they'll be like, it's a cutesy tribute. I don't think we're gonna get like
Like Black
doesn't he
Panther.
say-
Black Panther goes home and they
fireman
actually
flying through the sky.
Yeah, Black Panther goes home and they actually put a Starbucks at Wakanda. He's like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
I didn't want
So,
this."
a deleted scene, a little tribute,
so
and a
you'll
few
get that.
surprises.
And a few surprises. A
few surprises.
Yeah.
I don't think they're re-releasing it in theaters without something to tease. I really don't.
Wouldn't it be cool if it was like an
Or they're just
Easter
mad with
egg
power.
for all the other movies, though? Wouldn't that be cool?
They might be mad with power.
Well, Mad with Power. That's absolute. You're absolutely right about that, Joe. I'm saying if they had a little Easter egg for the upcoming movies, like what do they have?
They have Black
Panther
Widow,
2,
Eternals,
Black Widow,
and then it might be things that
Eternals.
we don't know about.
Yeah, just little a couple frames from Eternals would shock the shit out of me and put a lot of faith in more. It would restore. I don't want to say that either. Marvel's chugging along just fine, but if they put out any Eternals footage, I'd be like, I'd still be surprised at their acumen. I'd be like, damn, wow.
You know what it is, though, too, is my theory is that they're just going to reconfirm multiverses because and Spider-Man is opening, I think, 2 days after on a Tuesday. And I think they're just going to reconfirm the idea that now, because if it's Black Widow, my thesis on Black Widow is that just takes place in one of the timelines in which she was not killed. Because there is the one where Thanos never happened because Thanos and Gamora came forward. You get it. You follow me, right? So I feel like that's probably what they'll just confirm, and it's fine. They probably wanted to wait to do it until Spider-Man was coming out. So that there was still an air of mystery around that. That's my thesis. You tell me yours in the comments below. What am I looking at? Where am I looking?
People are going to get so
Which
mad.
camera?
People are going to get so mad if the twist in Spider-Man is like a Mandarin type thing, and Mysterio's like, scam! I made up multiverses so that I could...
But that's what Mysterio
Imagine
does.
people will
He is a con artist.
But that's what he does. And he did really do something multiversey one time in Spider-Man, the story of Spider-Man, where Peter Parker and Miles Morales met through a dimensional breach or whatever.
And
one time he did something real. The rest of it was all fake.
We've talked about this before, though, because Nick Fury's the one who says the word multiverse in that trailer, not Mysterio.
No.
So I trust Nick Fury
Exactamundo.
more than that. I think he would vet his
He's not
sources.
a liar. Well, he's definitely a liar.
Yes.
He's a little bit of a liar.
Oh, dude, he got his eye scratched out by a cat from space.
The
so-
last time he trusted someone.
Hey.
The last time he multiversed.
We may not have liked what Goose did, but I don't think that we're going to dismiss Goose in total because of one action. Okay.
I liked Goose.
I like
get us
Goose so
started on
much.
cats.
We also could do cat talk for
Yeah.
quite a long time,
Cat chat.
and I'm not afraid
No,
to do cat
JT, you
chat.
pulled the plug. He doesn't like cats.
Yeah, he's allergic.
You are fired! Guys, please do like Fandom Entertainment because we bring you the best, most quality entertainment that we can on a daily basis. And Ed Greer has something to say to you about the bell.
Destroy the bell.
Hold on, I got a nap. Hold on.
You're doing it.
He.
Oh, damn it.
Say it one more time.
All right, take two. Same energy as before. All right. Like, subscribe, and destroy the bell.
Nice.
Destroy the bell!
Nice.
I want to say a real thing. I'm going to get sincere. Look, I know it's a mistake, but I'm going to try it anyway. I really, I'm going to give it a whirl. So yesterday was the 300th Honest trailer, as I hope you guys all know and you've seen and you enjoyed it because it's amazing and you should go check it out if you haven't. We also launched our new mini documentary series, Fandom Uncovered, and I got to say I was so nervous about that for a very long time because it's about Twilight, and that wasn't the only reason I was nervous, but that certainly was one of them. And everyone in this community has been so incredible and supportive and open, and I've been floored by it and really, really, really humbled, and I love you guys, and that's true. I just really like the people that are saying like, hey, I don't like Twilight, which is fine, but I feel differently about the people now. That's like, you can't even understand what that means. That is the entire goal of it. So thank you for your amazing support. Now I'm going to make you watch another clip about it, but this one's very silly and it's not in the doc, and I'm getting transformed into a vampire, and I'm really bad at
You
it.
did just fire JT, so.
Hey, JT, you're rehired.
Oh, there it goes.
At a lower rate.
Do you remember when Twilight first came out? It was complete mania. Women, mostly teen girls and moms with families, lost their damn minds. Is anyone really even thinking about it anymore? The answer is yes. There's a tiny little dot on the map town in the middle of the forests of Washington where once a year, die-hard Twihards come and unabashedly celebrate their continued fandom. It's one of the weirder festivals I have ever been to, and yet it's kind of one of the more amazing ones.
The Volturi are a very old, very powerful family. I guess they're the closest thing to royalty my world has.
We're going to speak with the Volturi.
Join us. We would be delighted.
They asked us to go back to their secret location in the woods. And these are the bad vampires. So I literally don't think I'm coming back. I really think I'm gonna get murdered. This is terrifyingly awesome. Do I need to bow or should I like...
She knows her place. Thank you, my dear. You may stand.
Yeah, Jane's looking at me. Do you mind telling Jane to stop looking at me?
Behave, Joella.
Your eyes are violet.
Heidi is our fisherman, you see, and she seeks out and brings us our meals. We don't hunt, we have our food delivered.
What are the chances that you're going to kill me today?
Chances?
Yeah.
I'd call it more of certainty.
What do we do with you now?
We're at the cabin of the Olympic Coven, and I am about to get transformed into a baby vampire.
I'm Samantha. I'm the makeup artist.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you.
too.
I bet you don't have to do much because I am so white.
It's so nice.
Tell me about the day-to-day life here.
We're up at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning to get
Sounds
ready
less
for
fun now.
hair and makeup. It is a commitment. It's a time commitment, and people don't realize how long the days are. We are wearing hair and makeup and contacts all day, performing for fans, speaking to them in character, taking photos. It's a labor of love for sure, but we really enjoy doing it.
Have you ever put contacts in your eyes before?
No. I'm a vampire. What? Part of the clan now. I'm not leaving. First, go get you dressed. Yeah. Let's get evil.
You actually make a really good Victoria. This is kind of awesome.
You're like the perfect Victoria.
I think I'm giggling a little too much. Why do you love Victoria as a fan?
I like that she's fiery and fierce, and she's deathly loyal.
Sure. She killed loads of people too, though.
And that's what vampires do. Bad vampires are a little bit more fun.
Okay.
While the Cullens interact with people by talking to them and kind of getting to know them, I do a lot more stalking and glaring.
Great.
First thing you can do is you can't smile.
Smiling.
Did that oh.
I don't think anybody's ever tried to boot me on the nose in costume. One of my favorite things to do to fans in lines and at events is to walk up behind them when they don't realize I'm there. I get really close to their ear and I just stare at them until they turn around.
You are so creepy.
I'm gonna have to de-Victoria and go back to me, which is...
You are honorary nomad.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm gonna go find us some dinner, starting with our cameraman.
He does look like a tasty treat.
Oh, we're back. Hey, hey, hello, you.
I think you met Gerard Way at the end of that. You
Yes,
said that you met the My Chemical Romance guy.
it was an incredible journey,
Yeah.
and you guys can watch it on Fandom Entertainment right now.
here.
Where you're gonna do what to the bell?
Destroy the
That's right.
bell.
Smash that bell, guys. I have more news. I have a totally separate, different news story. Than the one we already did.
Okay.
It is that Marvel
Yeah.
is returning to Hall H at Comic-Con, and what could they be bringing? So basically, the topic for today's show is, what's Marvel doing?
They back!
They're back. Is it Blade? I don't know.
That'd be great.
So they're coming back to Hall H, which is good. They sat out in 2018. Warner Brothers isn't going to. A lot of the studios are not going, and Comic-Con seemed kind of ripe for the taking, which they are going to do. I think they're probably going to hold back a fair bit for D23.
Sure.
But it looks like they're going to be bringing maybe Black Widow, maybe Eternals. Thoughts? What would you like them to do,
Well,
Joe
first of
Starr?
all, is there like a weird
Yes.
like chess / war of nerves and like chicken game going on with Comic-Con? Because
Poker's
first
a good
Disney
one.
was is there some kind of game that requires bluffs and tells that
Different
maybe
bets
you
and-
gamble? If there were something like that.
Hey, Joe, I do the tortured metaphors around here,
You
buddy.
could do-
I'm gonna throw
Get off that turf. Marvel's baking a cake.
the worst.
No, it was good. It just took a little bake time to get there. It's fine.
Cumin and a
Kind
cake.
of cake baking. All the studios
Put
are making a
cumin
cake.
in it. It was
It's
It's a
been
piece of cake to bake a pretty
coming.
cake.
We're 3 days in and still on that goddamn cake. It's like,
Dude, I'm sorry, but
Woods
that was
morning
so
cake, baby.
horrible. That was so horrible. I was burning the candle at both ends that day. So sorry.
no, and you're always amazing. You're probably the only one of us that makes sense.
So first Disney's like, we're not going. Then
Yeah.
all the other studios are like, well, we don't want to seem desperate, so we're leaving.
Yeah.
And then they all leave. and then Disney goes, "We're back, baby, Hall H." Like,
Yeah.
is that? I don't know if any such game of bluffing and skill exists, or if there are entire cities based around structuring around playing them.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
But is that what's going on?
That's what's happening.
I'm
into it. I actually like that idea. You just made me respect them so much more.
If this was their plan all along,
if this was the plan all along, yeah.
Well, to act like there's no gamesmanship involved when there's this much market share at stake doesn't make any sense. Full stop.
So what are the other? How do the other studios rally?
When you say market share, it's like you mean like press and like attention, but they built their own convention just for that purpose, just so they would have the spotlight completely on them for D23, and they didn't have to share the stage with DC.
But much like Dr. Doom, ultimate victory is victory. You can't leave a little sliver because
they gotta salt the earth.
Yeah. You can't leave a little sliver because here comes Reed Richards' little bendy arm coming to smack you in the face, and then you lose. Gotta put your foot on the neck when you got him.
I think you're right. I hadn't actually considered that because
now Warner Brothers is like, oh, we'll come back, and Hall H is like, we're full. You got to go to the library with like the 4th tier Adult Swim shows. And
ouch!
Wow.
It was really
5th tier.
Yeah,
it's a nice venue.
It really is.
That's where our panel will be.
Probably.
Yeah, which is fair and right in the world. I do think it was really fun the last couple of years to watch them try and outdo each other in Hall H. Like, I don't know if you guys were in any of those panels, but it was great because Warner Brothers, that was me, and let's see what Dan has to say. So Warner Brothers was the one that they first opened like the screens, the surrounding screens. So it would be like Warner Brothers panel came out and it was like screens, right? And there's like screens everywhere, right? So Marvel came in, they were like, oh, screen, you want a surround sound screen? Yeah, that's fine. Holograms, bitch. And they fully had holograms. They did. It was like all down. And I was like, what are they going to do? They're going to give us jetpacks. It's going to be amazing.
Like a 50s World's Fair.
Like, we're going to just levitate out of our seats and into a different theater. It's going to be awesome. Stormtroopers coming in. It's like, oh. And then it just seemed to deflate because they were like, there's too much money on this. It's not delivering enough. We're going to have D23 and Celebration. We'll own our own stuff. But they also now own so much stuff in terms of they own all the Fox material. They have Disney Plus coming out and all of these other things. To your point, Ed, I don't think that they can. I think they now have to go back to marketing even more because they have so many more things to market. So they have to find different avenues for it. They can't rely just on D23 is largely going to be Disney Plus, you would imagine, pushing that. They also have other Disney films. I mean, we've got Frozen coming out. They have Pixar to deal with. Like, they have a lot on their plate.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of universe to dominate.
Right, it's interesting because this is just the Marvel panel. This isn't a Disney panel, so they won't be pushing Disney Plus outside of like Loki and Winter Soldier, Falcon, and stuff like that. So. Yeah, I think that that is not impressive enough. If they come out and they're just like, here's a few clips from our web series, sorry, Wanda and Vision and stuff like that, they need to do movies. They need to, or walk out, you know, who's going to play Reed Richards? I don't know. Bryan Cranston with some noodly arms, like, on stage. Even if they don't have any footage yet, like, that would win Comic-Con is if they bring out some casting of Fantastic Four or X-Men or show some of their movies. Because just their Disney Plus series, from what I think they are, is not going to cut it.
To not win Comic-Con would be such a fail, right? Like, there's no competition.
Yeah.
Well, but also, I think they could do something very simple, like Angelina Jolie comes out and says, "I'm in Eternals, thank you." I think a lot of people would think that was quite enough.
Yeah.
You know,
is there because Marvel does a really good job of, again, sorry you asked us not to be cynical today, of being a giant corporate machine, but also being like, we're for the people. We're here with the kids. You know, like, we're down.
We're fans too.
Yeah, we're fans too. Do you think there's a balance of, like, there's a PR perception that if they did just go to the Helm's Deep that is D23 and just wait for everyone to come to them, there's like a sense of like, you took Marvel from us, or that's not a very down with the kids move. Like
Oh, I see what you're saying.
y'all, like-
You put like a
It's like
paywall.
gatekeeping Marvel.
Yeah, it's like y'all used to hang out at the rec center.
Yeah.
Don't forget your roots.
Yeah.
Comic-Con.
Your giant Hall H roots.
Yeah.
I think there is something to that. But there's
Yeah.
something real to that, too.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's not a completely cynical move,
Yeah.
but but in a company you have to present it like you have to present your real thing cynically. Like someone convince PR that there's a real
But I think
chance
that would
of
have been the
this.
perception if it was only Marvel that were skipping it. But since Marvel and Warner Brothers, right, there's a Game of Thrones panel, but who cares? That show's over and sucks. That everyone would be like,
I am wearing my Game of Thrones socks today, and I felt weird about it.
Yeah,
You also did a Game of Thrones reference just now.
I did.
Did you not?
Did he?
Maybe.
Oh, cool.
No.
Sometimes they just fall out of me.
The takeaway would have been like, oh, Comic-Con is failing. Not, oh, Marvel thinks they're too good for it. It's like, oh, no one cares about Comic-Con anymore because everyone's skipping it.
No, and that's sort of like the takeaway that I had also was that, boy, like over the last few years, Comic-Con has been less and less invested in by the studios. It's become more and more, and this isn't a bad thing because this is also about the shape of entertainment, more and more about TV. I do think people will care that there's a Game of Thrones panel, but I think it'll care in a different way. Like I am foreseeing protests. I am
Not protest, but
foreseeing
there's going to be
like,
some, and even though I know I said it sucks, some a-hole is going to be like, why did you ruin the show? Like to the
God.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, the 7 plants that they have throughout the day at Hall H will never. When I covered Hall H for us, I was like, the same 7 people are asking questions for like everyone.
But it's like in John Wick 3, light, no spoilers, but like there's dudes stabbing fools in broad daylight. They'll have some of those people like, yeah, why did you? And you just out of there, you're getting dragged away.
I mean, the prequel series has started, at least production or filming. I think I saw that.
So they might drop a
show
little bit of that,
something?
but the panel is like a salute to how good we are.
Woof.
It's like a look back on all our awesome achievements of Game of Thrones. It's not.
Look back on dopeness.
Well, and Benioff and Weiss aren't going. They're not going. They're not
busy.
going because then the entire narrative, I think, really would be about like justifying what you did with the end of this series and like which is frankly the more interesting conversation to have.
Yeah.
And
go talk to your haters.
Yeah.
you're about to go to Star Wars, friends. You think you can't win with Game of Thrones? Like they really are in like the no-win land.
Well, they also have a penchant for doing stuff that people preemptively hate. Look it up. Whatever that reference is, you can look it up.
Oh, wait, just imagine. I have a pitch for you.
No.
You haven't heard it yet. Doing some pretty interesting things with history.
No, that pitch is never late. As Chris Rock said, that's never late. But yeah, so
Go to Comic-Con.
well, but also,
your
I mean,
fans.
as a slice of life thing, can I say that I've been to Hall H one time, and the only time I did go, and it was a super secret way. It was like John Wick 2 when he goes in the catacombs.
Yeah.
That's how I got into Hall H, and it was not fun. It was like there was 2 things I've done in my life that were not fun. That were super exclusive.
Only
Nice
2?
life.
About 2. Hall H, getting into Hall H and being in there and being jammed in and watching what I don't even remember what I saw.
Wow.
That's how jammed up and weird it was. And it was like
It is
great.
like watching TV at like the Staples Center.
Right, exactly. Oh, second one, Staples Center. Ringside, Deontay Wilder fight to this day. Deontay Wilder, that's what he says. That's his catchphrase. The 4 people watch boxing that watch this got that, and they're chuckling hard.
They love it.
Okay, so Deontay Wilder fight against Tyson Fury. And I'm sitting next to a British dude who's rooting for Tyson Fury, and he's spilling beer on my leg. And I got sushi my friend bought, and Shaq is right where Ryan is. And I'm having the worst time ever.
That sounds great.
Because it was so, you don't understand. Those seats, it's like being in a plane.
Yeah.
Being in a plane for 3 hours while entertainment is kind of over there, but then a big jumbotron showing it to you better.
Yeah.
It's even that close. I wasn't like
yeah,
spit
that's
on my
Shaq,
face
but
close.
Shaq's still like this on the plane, like his elbows still on your tray table.
There were some of those. I mean, I am a big fat person, so those seats were uncomfortable. However, there were some bodyguards of famous people who were like this wide. I'm like, where are you sitting, bro? Can I sit where you're sitting? Can I come to the large seats, the business class,
bodyguard
the fat business class. Can I come to that, please?
Really,
And this
really
table center.
sad story, Ed. I'm so sorry that you're ringside at a heavyweight fight, and then you got beer on your sushi. What did you do?
Beer definitely got on my foreign beer. Got on my. No, I'm just joking. But English beer got on my sushi.
A lager?
But no, it was funny though to watch certain like love and hip hop type celebrities over here and all the beer that was going on their $1 million shoes, and they getting up like, man, get your ass somebody with this. It was like these English people ruin the property value of our row. That is true. That literally happened up in there. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, you can feel bad anywhere if you're a jerk, and I am.
You know what I took away from that is that you hate the British. I hope you all heard that the way
That's
that I
canon.
heard that. That's canon.
Mountain Dew, the British, various beverages.
Ed Revere over here.
I love Hall H. I really honestly do.
Yeah.
I love the experience. I think it's but caveat
But you
to that.
swoop your way in.
Caveat to that, I
Yeah.
don't wait in line.
Yeah.
You know, I
Slick.
have in the past. Once I did.
Okay.
For what?
Avatar.
Wow.
Footage like 10 years ago. Yeah. I did. I waited in line for Avatar.
Cool.
And now here we are. But I think it is easy to complain about things that on paper seem like they're amazing, and then you're actually in the experience and you're not having a great time. So everyone feels sorry for Ed.
Yep.
The BoJack Horseman of screenshot.
Yeah.
Press F to pay respects.
But as Comic-Con as a thing, it just has not felt like it's going. It just really has felt like it's fading for a number of years, and then this year it was like, wow, it really has happened. Like no one is going, no one cares, no one's spending the money, none of the studios are going, and the only game in town at this point is going to be Marvel. So
It feels gross. It feels like they strip mine San Diego for parts.
a little bit.
No, go back to the roots. Go back to just comic books and like a dusty playing card station of Magic the Gathering. Like that's what
still
Comic-Con is to
there.
me, damn it.
No,
That's still there. You can still find that.
Yeah, there are nerds who, if they had the
Yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet, that'd be the first snap. Second snap, I don't want to say
I
that
think the
one.
economy around San Diego.
I don't want to say that one.
That is still very much alive
It's there.
at
It's
Comic-Con.
in Sub-Basement Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. You can go into like if you go all the way in the back.
You have to get so
here's
lost
a
before you
Comic-Con
find
past the library.
Here's a
Yeah.
Comic-Con pro tip if you guys go. And I think I'm gonna send. I think we should send Hal to do this
Okay.
year. It's like underground Comic-Con. It's like if you go all the way to the end and past at the end of the floor, and then like
Keep going.
past where the food is. In that area, there are literally tables set up, and people are playing Magic the Gathering and D&D
sure.
and all
That's where
kinds
I
of
go play
stuff.
Warhammer.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
With the other
There you go.
ghosts.
Yeah. In Comic-Con, you cynical prick.
But
Yeah.
also, please, that's funny. Please go to Artist Alley too. If you know all this joking and horrible metaphors and stuff, pause. I would love for you to go and talk to the people who make these things.
As long as they're not British.
That become as long as they're not British. Well, then you could talk to Alan Moore if you could find them. These cats,
He's not there.
Dude, he's spazzing out
He
like
is
Stephen
there.
Strange somewhere. You know,
Alan Moore is a sorcerer, as we know.
The Sabaros in downtown San Diego.
Alan Moore is like the Rasputin of comic writers, I
Yes.
think. He's
Yeah.
like somewhere.
He's not leaving.
Right.
He's not
Northern
leaving.
His
something.
astral form can be one place and his body can be some
True,
other place.
very true.
So all I'm saying is just go talk to Artist Alley dudes, because sometimes those people are so starving for attention that they'll have their book that they spend a bunch of money to print 5,000 copies of, and some even comic book retailers support some of them. Some of them will sell you stuff for $1 because they don't have enough money to really take all of it back home. You know what I mean? So like this is the real essence of all this other stuff that you love so much. And I want to lecture, but that's it.
Yeah,
go.
no, good call. Sorry, I just, you know, the thing that was going around on Twitter that was like, you get $1 billion. What film thing would you make? And I honestly think mine would just be Alan Moore rating item menus at Sabaros. Okay.
For $1 billion?
For $1 billion. Just Alan Moore, like.
I would give $1 billion for an Alan Moore reacts to adaptations of Alan Moore's work.
Oh, at Sabaros?
Yeah, at a Sabaros.
Okay, thank you.
It was like,
Yeah.
Let's go in on this. Hey, Sharks.
Hey Sharks, we have a show about reviewing calzones, or they call it pizzones. What do they call them over there? Yeah, and also deep cut comic book writer talk.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your $1 billion?
My $1 billion. Wait, I forgot the proposition. What is it? I get $1 billion to do what?
To do
One
a thing.
movie,
You only
one
get one?
comic related thing, yeah.
Why only one?
Because that's the prompt.
I don't like that prompt. You could make...
Then get your own prompt to go viral.
All right. I've never gone viral in my life. One tweet of mine went relatively viral.
It's such a cop-out way to do numbers on a tweet, is to be like, tell me your favorite movie thing.
Yeah.
Those don't count.
I think they count. That tweet counts.
No,
It
that's
does.
the only thing juicing the replies.
No.
my-
What doesn't count is caption this. Caption this is the laziest damn crap I've ever seen. Caption this.
My tweet that I came in the next day and David was like, David is our social media marketing humanoid. And he was like, your tweet went viral, which I don't think is a thing at all. I just don't believe in that as a concept. And it was literally just when Arya and Gendry were getting it. And I was like, everybody's swiping right in Westeros. And that's it. That was my moment in the sun. I quit.
Yeah, don't overthink
I
it.
got nothing more to give.
There you go.
So this has been a good show today. We want to thank you guys for joining us. Edgar, do you have final things to say about your $1 billion? What are you going to do?
With $1 billion, I would pay everybody to listen to my podcast, Nerd Goat.
Nice.
The Nerd Goat podcast. We're doing our tournament of goats. We'll be doing the 100th episode next week, and it just goes down all these different people we've talked about across this second season. Joe Starr, his candidate Rodimus Prime is doing well in the tournament. He survived the first round.
He's got the touch.
Yeah, he's definitely got the touch. Yeah, who would have thought a Lamborghini Winnebago would go so far? People who know what Rodimus Prime looks like, that's hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, the whole I would love. We should do a super cut of me going, that was funny.
That was funny. I know what I was talking about.
But
It's
yeah.
like the like you're laughing moment.
I'm talking to the two people who are, but honestly, I mean, we've done 100 episodes of the show. Our Patreon is growing. We'd love to be able to get big enough to do Comic-Con and things of this nature, and it's just
Keep
been a great
sending
journey.
Ed to ringside seats that he'll complain about.
Oh, dude, yeah, send me to Hall H just to watch me squirm.
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
Yep.
So yeah, thank everybody who's been listening so far, and all the Screen Junkies people who have jumped on. Like our last review was like, I saw Edgar on a Screen Junkies. He talked about his dumb podcast. I listened to it. I'm 10 episodes deep, and I'm like, wow, that's really heartening.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Yay,
Nerd Goat
Ed.
Podcast at nerdgoatpodcast.com, and we are also on Twitter at Nerd Goat Podcast.
All right. With my $1 billion, I'm going to make a 22-hour Sandman movie starring David Tennant. And now you want me to win.
Yeah.
Joe Starr, say 2 more things about Marvel at Comic-Con. Otherwise, we have not satisfied our mission today.
I think they're gonna
get us out of here.
I think they're going to introduce a villain for Black Panther 2. Shuri's gonna come out and wave, and they're gonna cast Shang-Chi and show something from Black Widow.
I think they're probably going to do a Chris Evans, a Robert Downey Jr. I know you guys remember Thank You Avengers, that hashtag. They'll come out and do their own thank you to the fans. Like they'll tout them around that way. And I imagine the tribute that we're going to see in Endgame is going to be to Stan Lee. I have an amazing junket for you to watch after this. Oh. Spencer's going to finalize his thoughts on Marvel. No, you don't care.
No, it's good. Yeah. It's good stuff. Keep making movies. Only game in town.
Good talk today, guys. It's been a wild ride, and I want you to thank...
But it's not over.
But it's not over yet, because we got a Child's Play junket from Mr. Eric Goldman. Went to the junket...
Well, if Chucky was a drone.
What? Oh, God. But anyway, he did the junket with Aubrey Plaza and some other people, and what if Chucky was an app? But we should...
Good night, Andy.
So I'm from Fandom, so I've got some questions from the fans
Okay.
here for you.
All right.
And so first off, I've got a question. How was it filming with the animatronic dolls?
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Because, like this doll can do, this doll is so advanced. Like it can make facial expressions.
I love the dolls so much. We got along, and one of the animatronic dolls had the lead puppeteer was hooked up to the doll, and he would lay on his back like a beetle, and he would move the thing and be like, and do a creepy voice.
Right.
So that was almost creepier than the actual doll.
Yeah. Right.
I didn't like that so much.
That was very scarring.
Something's wrong with Chucky.
What was the scariest scene that each of you had to film?
Just working with Aubrey in general.
Yeah.
Anything.
I'm a nightmare.
Yes.
You never know what you're gonna get every morning.
Right.
Things aren't going good for me, so I try not to bring it to set.
Right. Don't take it out on him.
It's hard.
Well, she definitely does.
But anything else besides that?
Well, I don't know. There are a lot of different scenes that are scary for different reasons,
Uh-huh.
so it's hard for me to like pin down one that was scary.
What about when your mother was tied up and
that
trying
was
to be
more like
murdered and you had to try to
therapy
save
in a
her
way.
life?
Yeah, that was relieving almost.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you wanted me to die. Got it.
No, okay. This question, I know people ask this since the beginning of Chucky from Child's Play. Why can't anyone just kick the doll before he can make a move?
Well, you like, okay, all right, guys, I get it. Like, I get that. But like, Chucky's smart. Like, Chucky is actually really smart. And because he's so small, he can hide. He can do all these different things. And you kick him and he gets right back up. So then what do you do if he has like a knife that is like coming at you?
That is a hilarious question. I saw that on Twitter, and it made me laugh so hard because I completely agree. When I was watching the original Chucky movies, I always thought that, like, just kick it in the head.
Right. Did your prank war end? And they also asked, did Aubrey ever succeed? I'd like to hear your take on that.
I still feel like she's behind this curtain. Like, I'm waiting for her or Gabriel
That
like,
would
pop
be amazing.
out, like, from behind this curtain. Like, prank wars never end, man. But like, is it really a war if you're the winner all the time? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of one-sided.
Right.
Like, at one point, me and Plaza were like teaming together to get these kids, because like it's so hard to scare kids this generation, man. Like, it's so hard. And so me and Aubrey would like team up and like start doing mind games. I'm all about the long game. Like, I don't want to scare you right up. I like just want to like just do this water torture on you for a little bit and like plant the seed. But no, it's not over. I don't think it's over.
But if it was over right now, you would be the winner.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
I will say she got me one time during Halloween. She hid in my bathroom and she scared me. She had an actual knife too. So yeah, that was.
I did.
That was fun.
I brought a real knife to set.
Yeah.
It escalated.
I thought you stole it.
It was
from
also
set.
Halloween. No, I stole it from my Airbnb.
Oh.
It was Halloween and we were shooting in a haunted mental hospital. So it just felt fitting for me to, during our lunch break, hide in his bathroom and try to kill him. But to answer the question, no, it's not over.
Oh, it's no. Not over. Yeah.
It's never over.
There are things planned, for sure.
Rocky.